Well, looks like we might have a broken fuel line, and the fuel pump isn't the culprit after all. We're going to find out here pretty quick. It looks like a squirrel's been chewing on it. Right there. Now watch. See it wet up? Oh, nice and wet. We'll cut that off here, pull it down, reattach it, and we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Well, sure enough, looks like that might have been the problem. I'm seeing fuel coming into the fuel filter under the hood, so the fuel pump is working. I do a little tweaking under the hood on the idle and the fast idle, but just bumped up the idle a little bit. Doesn't sound too bad, but we're going to take her out for a spin, see what she does. So, truck has been running rougher and rougher and rougher and getting harder and harder to start cold. Could have been a multitude of problems. About went crazy trying to figure it out, and that's why I'm making a video here, so I can maybe help somebody else out. So a 78 Toyota pickup truck, 20R motor, 5-speed transmission. Turns out what I thought it was. First I thought it was 3 different things in order, and I'll take them in order. And it's quite a story, so we'll just tell it. First I thought it was this booger. This is an Auxiliary Accelerator Pump diaphragm. I did a lot of research and reading about this. Every carbureted Toyota from about 77, 78 on up to the 90s, carbureted Toyota, pickups, Corollas, Celicas, Supras, you name it, has one of these boogers. So, screen just went out. There we go. Still recording. Sorry about that. Yeah, but they've all got this. Supposedly, after doing tons and tons of digging, it's to make the idle circuit richer when the vehicle's cold. Helps it warm up quicker. It is actually tied into the regular idle circuit, so if this thing has a problem, it's going to make your vehicle run rougher and rougher and rougher as it deteriorates. So where it goes, right up in there. See this piece right here with this vacuum line? Goes right in there. It's just 3 little screws. You don't have to take the carburetor apart. You just take that cover off and stick it in there. Now, a lot of people online are selling these for $40 and $50 a piece in a genuine Toyota. You don't need to do that. We went to Rock Auto and got a hold of this. See if we can get you a better shot of that. It's a Beck-Arnley part. It's nice. Pump diaphragm. There's a part number. And it even came with a little gasket, which I didn't use, and it's not leaking, so I'm not worried about it, but you can put it on. This was only $5 and change, plus shipping. It came out to like $8. Got here in 2 days. Let me show you what the deal is here. See if I can show you this. You see any little cracks and pinholes and things? I don't know if it's going to show up or not, but we'll look at it later in editing. But there's lots of little splits and pinholes and whatever. This allows gas to get past this diaphragm and into that vacuum line, which then gets sucked through a valve and into the intake. It'll make it run rich. You might also notice that you get on the accelerator and you blow this little black smoke for a second. That's because there's extra gas getting dumped in there, and it's not supposed to. That side's supposed to be dry. It's supposed to be vacuum only. There's also a valve in the head. When it heats up, it's supposed to cut the vacuum off. So there's no vacuum pulling up, but that diaphragm is still in there pulsing with the engine vacuum. So it actually is part of the regular idle circuit in how much it pulls off that idle circuit. The idle circuit alone won't do it. Some guys said when these things start going bad, you can, cap it off just to stop the rich thing. But, if it's ruptured, it's ruptured. It's just going to get worse. $8, replace it. Takes 5 minutes. No big deal. So, there we go. I thought that was the problem. Got it all fixed. Wore the battery down trying to start the truck. And put it on charger overnight. Got the battery all there. Come out the next morning. Turn the key. Click whir. Sound like the solenoid was no good. So, figured I gotta get a starter now. Probably blow up the starter trying to get the truck started. Cranking, Yeah, it goes. So I did that. Waited for the wife to get home. Asked her to come out, listen to it, see what she thought. Because she's pretty smart. Turned the key, sure enough, it turned over. I'm like, oh gosh. Not the starter. So, just going to walk around here a little bit. Wasn't the starter. But then we noticed that the fuel bowl looked empty. So now we're thinking fuel pump. Because it would not start before unless you dumped gas down its throat. It would start and then die, start and then die. And so, couldn't keep it going. Bowl looked dry through the sight glass, which is on the front of that carburetor, which you can't see unless you take off the air cleaner, by the way, but you can see it. A nice thing to have on there. So we decided it's going to take a fuel pump. That means dropping the gas tank, which means either taking this bed off or doing it all from underneath. I decided, of course, to do it from underneath. Good thing I did. Here's a clip that tells you why. Always check your stuff first. Check your obvious things first. Fixed that, came around, got my little squirt bottle here I use for vape, and filled up the bowl with it with gas. And sure enough, got her running. A little metal went the carb, a little bit of idle. I put the choke plate back on it, which I had taken off, which was stupid. I thought that was the problem. I thought the choke was stuck closed all the time. Wasn't the case. Which was dumb because, lost one of the screws to that in the process. Really smart. Oy. But sure enough, it's running, and took it around the neighborhood and checked it out. And it seems to be running fine. The fuel filter still doesn't seem to be full, but when you rev it, right here, you can see fuel coming in, so the fuel pump is working. And I ran it all around this neighborhood, 15 minutes solid, and it never died on me. And the stumble and hesitation that I was experiencing before is gone. So that diaphragm right there is a big deal. And I put that brand new vacuum line on that, back on that too. It was capped. I don't know who did that. It's been like that since I've had this truck 20 years. So I'm happy. $8 fix. Don't need to do the fuel pump. Don't need to spend 2 days messing around with stuff. Fuel lines underneath look okay. They're not dry rotted. Except for the part where Mr. Squirrel chewed it. Bastards. So not to make me want to take a BB gun to him, but I can't do that. I don't have the heart for it. I think it's a squirrel's revenge. I kicked him out of the attic a while back by putting a new screen up here in the eaves. See if you can see that. So there you go. They were climbing in right over there. You see the dirty patch? They were climbing in and out. Let's see if I can get something working here. Oh, what do you know? I gotta zoom. Yeah, see the dirt? So I put all new wire mesh in there from Ace Hardware. So that's my story. Lessons learned. Always check the obvious first. Check for leaks. Check for simple stuff you can fix for low dollar or no dollar. Don't be thinking you got to automatically spend money. If it had been the fuel pump on this truck from Rock Auto, it's for an Airtex one, it's like $41 and change plus shipping would have been under $50. No problem. It's not a hard job. It's not complicated. It just takes work, which we're allergic to right now, of course. So there you go. But make sure you get that diaphragm changed out. If it's an older vehicle, you don't know, just go ahead and order one, stick it in there, put a new vacuum line on it. It'll run so much better you won't believe it. I mean, it used to stumble and hesitate every time. In gear, out of gear, just get on the gas a little bit, get on a medium, get on a lot. It would always kind of bog and then take off, bog and then take off. And where you take off and then it kind of cha-cha-cha-cha and then gets going again. It's worth doing. So there's a story. Hope it's some help. Maybe now I got a running truck again. We can get back to scrapping and see what we can find. Thanks for watching. Hope this was a help to somebody out there. Leave a comment if you want to. If not, don't have to. No problem. You'll have a good one. See ya.